Report.ca. I'm with Sandra Solomon once again. We want to discuss the hijab, niqab, and burqa, and we're going to get to Nike, who's now decided to alienate a whole swath of their customer base by proudly putting their logo on hijabs. Let's talk about it. Hijab, niqab, burqa. Very quickly, what's the difference?
The hijab is the head scarf. And
so it's just around the head like that?
Exactly.
But the face is open?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Niqab and burqa almost the same when they cover the face, even if they leave the little slots for the eyes to be open.
Okay, so the niqab, though, is not the full burqa, not the full dress.
And that's not the hijab. It's the head and the body. They have to cover it all, right?
Sorry, a niqab, you mean?
No, the niqab is the face. Hijab is the head and the body. In both cases, they have to cover the body, right?
Okay.
So the niqab is the face. Hijab is the head only, without the face.
Gotcha. And then burqa is the whole thing.
It's the whole
with mesh.
Yes. Niqab too. Yeah.
All right. So we talked about Nike getting into this, and that you made a very good point that with Nike designing hijabs to be super sleek and super tight and super sexy, that these girls, according to Sharia, should be killed. Please enlighten us as to that.
Yes, according to Sharia law, your hijab and your niqab is not supposed to show your body figures. It doesn't have to show their figures.
Right. Okay. So guys, what that means is, see these two lumps right here?
Yeah.
That cannot be seen.
No, they can't. They actually also like the shoulders, the figures, the waist, the legs, everything, because it's tight. You're not supposed the true hijab, real hijab, has to be fluffy on the body. It doesn't have to show the figures.
So essentially a pillar. It has to be.
Yeah, exactly.
You cannot see anything human in the shape.
Exactly what I used to wear in Saudi Arabia, like the hijab, the niqab, and it has to be coming off on my shoulders, not to show the shoulders. Okay. And the whole body has to be, they call it abaya. It has to be all like a bigger size. So it doesn't stick to my body. It doesn't show my figures.
Oh, my Lord.
So any woman, that's the way it should be. Any woman who's going to wear these Nikes and these showing her body, the figures, she's causing mischief, seduce. According to Sharia law, she should be killed.
Because if I understand the book and the culture correctly, she's dressed up in this new Nike version.
Yeah.
So you can see the shape of her butt.
Exactly.
And everything else.
That's against...
So all the men are going to look around going, ooh, I've got to have that.
Yes.
Rape her, it's her fault.
That's what we been like, they brainwashed the little girls when they were young, the hijab supposedly as a form of a protection for the girls. Like they tell them that you are like a candy, and if you open, the flies will come on you. But if you are covered, the flies represent the men. So, and if they're covered, they're not going to be sexually harassed or raped or all that. On top of that, the main thing, this is very important for every Canadian woman, so-called feminist, they need to know the hijab was actually established to distinguish at the time of Muhammad by Umar ibn al-Khattab, the second caliphate. He's the one who actually told Muhammad to cover his wife. At the time of Muhammad, no one was covered. Like, not the woman was uncovered, right? It's pagan region, whatever. So Umar, he's the one who told Muhammad to cover his wives because they used to rape the slave girls, and then the wives of Muhammad and the wives of the Muslims, they're not covered too. So when they go in the dark, they might get raped. So the verse in the Quran, يا أيها النبي قل لأزواجك وبناتك أن يدين عليهن بجلابيبهن ذلك أدنى أن يعرفن. So cover them for them not to be known, so they're not gonna be harmed. So that's why when Muhammad did this, to distinguish between the slave girls and the Muslim woman. So when the Muslim woman walking around wearing the hijab, it's actually a message to every Muslim man to know that she's a Muslim, and the one who's not covered, she is the sixth slave, for them to go and have her as to rape her.
Okay.
So the hijab, Nike, they are not supporting the true feminists. They're not standing how many girls, their face being burned with acid attacks, and the honor killing that took place here, the Shafia girls, who was killed just because they refused to wear the hijab.
In Canada.
So
They were
yeah,
killed in
Nike
Canada.
actually they're not doing any good. Not for everyone, even include the Muslim woman. Nike, they're not doing good job for Muslim women, because according to Sharia law, if this girl, her father or her brother, been radicalized, he might kill her because she's not wearing the proper hijab. And on top of that, when they do the sports, there is a moves, right? They're gonna do some moves. They might open the legs, they might flip. If they do sports, right? They moving their body to Muslim men. According to Sharia law, these moves, it could be seductional moves. You know, they might seduce men by their
Yes, seductive is the word.
seductive.
Yes,
Exactly.
and-
So according to Sharia law, Nike girls who's gonna be wearing the Nike hijab, according to Sharia law, we don't know what's gonna happen to you. It's either you're gonna be attacked with acid attack, or you're gonna be killed. That's what's gonna happen to Nike hijab girls.
I got to recap. You said a lot, but I think what the central message here is that little girls, they're told that they're candy.
Yes.
You keep covered up so the flies don't get at you, and the flies are men.
Yes.
And how pathetic is it that your Sharia law knows that Sharia-based men or adherers of Sharia law who are men are disgusting, filthy, vile rapists.
Yeah.
So you've got to protect yourself from rapists who exist by default
Yeah.
within the system. And on top of that, what we're saying here is women are wearing the burqa and the niqab for the sole purpose of saying, I'm a Muslim woman.
Yes.
You're not allowed to rape me.
Yes.
But it's okay to rape
Her. Yeah. The
rape
blondie,
her.
the Canadian,
Get her.
the white girl.
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go to the Air Canada Centre for a Leaf game, and if a woman's not covered up, it's okay. Yank her in the bathroom and rape her.
Yeah.
It's all right.
And also the taxi. In the taxi.
Oh, and the taxi driver in Halifax.
That's okay. Yeah. That's okay.
It's okay. So
That's okay.
this Canada is what you're going to get. This is what, and listen, you're letting your government do this to you. So quite frankly, you deserve it. And this is something I come under fire for saying. But it's your fault for sitting back and calling people like Sandra radicals and calling people like me radicals and calling anybody who's trying to educate you on this radicals or just wrong. You call us wrong. Now, I know the tide is changing. This is the big thing that I'm going to point out to everybody. And I want you all to understand this. I used to get a lot of hate mail. And I used to get a lot of angry phone calls late at night. And that happened between 2015 and 2016 when my public feuds with Bonnie Crombie, Mississauga's mayor and nutcase, when those were public, Muslims would attack me left, right, and center. They've stopped altogether. Not a single solitary phone call has come in any threatening manner because Muslims are backing down. And I want Canadians to understand that you can attack and attack and attack, and they will back down.
Yeah, and one thing I want to add here, and I'm gonna start it this year, and it's gonna be internationally. July 1st from this year, starting this year, 150th anniversary Canadian.
So Canada's 150th anniversary.
Yes,
on Canada Day.
And then Canada
July
Day
1st.
Every year internationally. I'm starting Burning Hijab Day.
Oh, I like that.
Yes,
so
that's
Sandra
the true
Solomon's
feminine, exactly.
Burn the Hijab Day.
Yeah, July 1st, and it's gonna be every year, and it's gonna be internationally.
Where are you doing your first one?
We don't know yet. When the time comes, everyone will know.
Okay. Well, what we will do.
And
go
also,
ahead.
sorry, I want to tell the people as well, and to stand with me. You don't you can get like a piece of fabric and just burn it. And if you want to make a video about it, like a 1-minute video, just burn the fabric and say, I'm standing with a woman who's been oppressed and be killed, and they have their faces acid attacks, and not just in the Islamic faith or Islamic culture, in every culture, in every faith that oppressed women. Burn the hijab day to stand with that's the true feminists.
Yeah,
what they do.
Well, if you're listening, feminists, I'm extremely disappointed in all of you. Not because you yip, 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 but it's because you're yapping at this. The white male who goes out of his way to open doors for all women that he sees. You are trying to dictate to her and to me and to my daughter and to young girls out there that this white-skinned, middle-aged guy is the cause of all women's problems. No, it's not. Islam is the cause of women's problems. So you now need to take a side. Forget everything that moron downtown Toronto, Chanty Binks. I'll put her photograph up for you. Forget what she says. Everything she says is wrong. Feminists have got to start attacking Islam.
Yes.
Forget attacking white men, because white men also
Yes.
are the victims of Islam, and we need to attack it too.
Yeah, a true feminist will never accept Sharia law. A true feminist will stand against Sharia law.
Yeah, so stop talking about the patriarchy, which doesn't exist, and the gender wage gap, which doesn't exist. Talk not about that any longer. Talk about Islam and destroying Sharia law before it even starts here in Canada.
Amen.
So, burn the hijab day.
July
Sandra,
1st.
let's call it Sandra Solomon's.
July 1st.
Burn the hijab day.
July 1st, internationally from every year.
Do it in every city, everywhere you possibly
Exactly.
can. Film it. Send your footage to me. I'll make sure I
Exactly.
send that out to the world.
Amen.
Thank you for coming. Sandra Solomon, Kevin J. Johnston, Canada, stay patriotic. I mean it. FreedomReport.ca.